The future of transportation has arrived, and it's not coming from Silicon Valley or the sprawling factories in China. Instead, it's emerging from an unexpected place, Africa. Yes, you heard that right. Africa, home to countless cultures, histories, and now technological innovation, is making waves in the automotive world with a groundbreaking invention, the self-powered car. For decades, Africa has been viewed as a continent facing infrastructure challenges, economic difficulties, and dependence on global powers. However, this narrative is beginning to shift. In fact, the self-powered car is just one of the latest examples of African ingenuity that is challenging traditional global players. This car runs entirely on its own power, using renewable energy sources with no need for charging stations or fossil fuels. It's more than just a mode of transportation, it's a symbol of Africa's growing technological strength. When engineers first saw the self-powered car, they were shocked. Shocked by the engineering skill, the ingenuity, and the boldness of the design. For years, Africa had been overlooked in the race for cutting-edge automotive technology, but now the world has a new player in the game. This car isn't just an electric vehicle, it's something entirely new. It offers a glimpse into a future where African innovation could shape global industries, changing the way we think about energy, transportation, and the environment. So, what does this mean for the global automotive industry? What does it mean for the powerful players in China, the US, and Europe who have long dominated the electric vehicle sector? And more importantly, what does this mean for Africa's future as a technological hub? Stay tuned as we dive deep into this breakthrough that's not only reshaping the automotive world but may also serve as a catalyst for Africa's economic rise. In today's video, we'll explore the remarkable story of how Africa's self-powered car is turning heads and setting the stage for a new era of innovation and competition in the global automotive industry. Over the past few years, Africa has been slowly shedding its image as a continent defined only by its natural resources and challenges. While issues like infrastructure deficits, political instability, and economic hardship have long dominated global conversations about Africa, a new narrative is emerging. This new narrative focuses on innovation, self-reliance, and technological progress. In cities like Nairobi, Lagos, Cape Town, and Accra, the tech scene is thriving. Africa is home to some of the world's fastest-growing tech hubs, where young entrepreneurs are innovating across sectors, from fintech to renewable energy, from agriculture to the automotive industry. In fact, the arrival of a self-powered car from an African country may be one of the most significant milestones in this shift. It speaks volumes about Africa's ability to leapfrog traditional stages of technological development, adopting and discovering cutting-edge solutions that might be too expensive or impractical for other parts of the world. But Africa's greatest strength is not just in its resources or talent, it lies in the unique challenges the continent faces. These challenges are pushing African engineers and innovators to create solutions that could tackle problems on a global scale. For years, Africa's energy infrastructure was a bottleneck to economic development, but now the continent is increasingly turning to renewable energy sources, from solar and wind to harnessing the potential of biofuels. These resources are not just powering homes and businesses, they are powering a new vision for the future of transportation. Now, let's take a closer look at the self-powered car that's causing a stir around the world. At first glance, it may look like a typical electric vehicle, sleek, stylish, and designed for efficiency. However, if you look closer, you'll see this car is unlike anything we've seen before. This car operates completely independently of charging stations, a problem that has plagued traditional electric vehicles for years. Instead of relying on external sources of electricity, this self-powered car uses advanced renewable energy technologies to generate its own energy while on the move. It's a fully self-sustaining system. So, how does it work? The car is equipped with a combination of solar panels, kinetic energy recovery systems, and lightweight high-capacity batteries that allow it to capture and store energy from the environment as it moves. The car converts sunlight into electricity to power the vehicle's electric motor, and that's not all. The car's design also includes regenerative braking technology, which captures and stores energy typically lost during braking, further improving its energy efficiency. This means that as long as there is sunlight, the car can run without ever needing to be plugged into a charging station. Perhaps the most exciting part of this car is its potential to serve as a prototype for a future where transportation is no longer dependent on fossil fuels. Imagine a world where every car on the road could operate without needing to charge or refuel. A world where energy is captured and recycled, reducing carbon emissions and lowering costs for consumers. This is the kind of world the self-powered car promises to create. When the first prototype of the self-powered car was unveiled, the global reaction was one of amazement. Engineers and industry professionals from around the world took one look at the design and were stunned not just by the car's sleek appearance, but by its functionality and the brilliance behind its design. U.S. engineers, in particular, were taken aback. For years, they had been working on electric vehicle technologies, but the idea of a truly self-sustaining vehicle was still largely theoretical. Many automotive giants in the U.S., including Tesla, Ford, and General Motors, have made impressive strides in electric vehicles, but none had been able to create a car that could power itself entirely through renewable energy. The biggest surprise came from the fact that Africa, a continent that had long been ignored in the global automotive race, was now setting the stage for a new era of innovation. U.S. engineers were forced to rethink their approach, especially considering the challenges they faced in integrating renewable energy into vehicles on a mass scale. Many automotive companies quickly praised the technology, but questions still remain: can this technology be scaled? Could it be mass-produced? Would it be feasible for global markets? These questions remain unanswered, but what's clear is that Africa's entry into the self-powered car market has shifted the balance of power in the automotive world. One of the most intriguing questions about the self-powered car is why it's coming from Africa instead of China. After all, China has long been a leader in the electric vehicle market, producing millions of electric cars every year with vast manufacturing capabilities and a head start in renewable energy research. So why hasn't China made the leap to fully self-sustaining vehicles? While China has certainly made great strides in the EV space, its growth has largely been driven by mass production, cost efficiency, and market penetration. The focus has primarily been on creating affordable electric cars that can be quickly adopted by the market. However, these vehicles still require charging infrastructure and are ultimately dependent on centralized energy grids. In contrast, Africa's self-powered car is designed to be decentralized, completely independent of external charging stations. This makes it a far more adaptable solution for regions where energy infrastructure is scarce or unreliable. This approach is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for Africa, where many regions still lack stable power grids. The ability to power a car entirely on its own could transform mobility in ways previously unimaginable. The key difference lies in Africa's unique perspective. While China focused on mass production and affordability, African innovators considered the problem from a broader angle: how can we create transportation solutions that work within the constraints of the continent's environment and infrastructure? The result is a breakthrough that could ultimately prove to be more adaptable, more sustainable, and more transformative than anything China or the West has developed so far. The self-powered car is more than just a technological marvel. It represents a vision for the future of global transportation. If this technology can be scaled, it could radically change the way we think about cars, energy, and the environment. Imagine a world where every car is self-sustaining, generating its own energy from the sun, wind, or even kinetic energy. Fossil fuels would become a thing of the past, replaced by clean, renewable energy sources. Carbon emissions from the transportation sector, which currently account for a significant portion of global greenhouse gas emissions, could be drastically reduced. This could mark the beginning of a new era in sustainable living. The development of the self-powered car is just the beginning. Africa is on the verge of an innovation revolution. This breakthrough could be the spark that ignites further advancements in technology, energy, and manufacturing across the continent. The road ahead is full of potential. By continuing to invest in education,